Hello and welcome to Internship Studio for Internship of Ethical Hacking. Welcome back to session number 2. Today in this session, we are going to understand what Linux operating system is, and I will also teach you how you can install Linux operating system. So let's move to the next slide. What are the prerequisites for ethical hacking? There are 3 things which you need to become an ethical hacker. Number 1 is internet connection, which I probably, or let's say 100% guarantee that you have because you are watching me on internet. Other thing is laptop PC. I can probably say that you might have laptop or PC. The third thing is Linux operating system. Now this is a thing which you somehow, it's possible that you do not have Linux operating system because you are running on Windows 10 or Mac OS. But don't worry, I will tell you that how you can install Linux. Now let's first understand that what kind of Linux do hackers use, because there are different type of Linux distros available out there. It's not Microsoft Windows or it's not Apple Mac OS that there are only a single image available, that Windows 10 or Mac OS. In Linux, there are multiple distros available out there. If you have heard of Ubuntu is a Linux distro. CentOS, Kali Linux, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. There are different kind of endless list of Linux. But as a hacker, our favorite operating system is Kali Linux. You can see over here, I have an image how Kali Linux looks. It looks something similarly to Windows, but it have different features. Now, it's possible that you might be afraid that how I will install Linux because I only have one laptop and I am running Windows 10 over here. And how will I install Linux? Don't worry, you can do so with the help of technology called as virtualization. What does virtualization means? You can see over here, I have a screen, right? A big laptop on which I have a Windows 10 logo in the bottom. Okay, now focus on the blue color laptop. In this laptop, okay, in blue color laptop, I have logo of Linux. So you can understand by looking at it that in your laptop, you can create your virtual own laptop. I mean, without any cost, you can create your own laptop in your existing laptop. How? It's possible with the help of virtualization technology. Now, how you can do this? What are the ways? I will tell you. Don't worry. But if you want to use virtualization on your laptop, on your existing PC, you need to access your BIOS. Now, I cannot do this right now because I am over here in front of you presenting my videos. So I cannot do this thing, but you can. You can go on Google and you have to type your company. I mean, if you are using HP laptop, let's assume that you are using HP laptop. So you just go on Google and type HP laptop BIOS. You will get the steps that how you can access your BIOS. And if you already know how to access BIOS, then it's well and good thing. Now here I have a kind of sample that how BIOS looks. Now in your BIOS, there will be an option named as virtualization technology, Hyper-V or AMD virtualization, Intel virtualization. It would be similarly like this, but you have to focus on a word virtualization. Just go on that option and just enable this. As I have done here, it's my BIOS, it's my HP laptop BIOS. Here you can see I have Intel virtualization technology and I have enabled it. So you can do so. It's compulsory, or let's say it's mandatory to use virtualization technology on your device. Now, if you complete this, now I will teach you that how you can install Kali Linux on your existing operating system. So let's move towards the lab. Now, in order to use this virtualization technology, you need some softwares which are free. So first of all, go on this website virtualbox.org/wiki/downloads. On this website, you can see over here, there is written a word VirtualBox. It means a box which will run virtually on your existing laptop. Now here you can download it for your particular operating system. If you are using Windows, go on Windows host. If you are using Mac OS, you have to go for OS X host. And similarly, if you are using already Linux, then you can also download VirtualBox for your Linux operating system. Now I will download for Windows host. Now after you download this for your Windows host or your supposed operating system, you have to go here. You have to download VirtualBox extension pack. It will be a kind of 50 or 60 MB. It's a small software. Okay. So just download VirtualBox extension pack. You need these 2 files. The third file which you need is Kali Linux image. In order to install Kali Linux, you need Kali Linux. So here you can go on this website offensivesecurity.com. In the download section, you have two different sections. Number one is Kali Linux VMware images. Be careful, you do not have to download VMware images. We are going to use Kali Linux VirtualBox images. So you can download it with your preference. Like if you are using 64-bit computer, you can download for 64-bit OS. If you are using 32-bit operating system, you can download 32-bit. How will you check this? You can check this in your settings. In your Windows settings, you can see, let me show you. Okay, so let me take you to my settings. So I am with my settings, and here you can just go and look in the system option. In system, if you scroll down in the about section, you can look over here. Here is the informations for your system. But in system type, you can look, there is written over here 64-bit operating system. So you can verify this if you are using Windows 10. I don't know about Mac OS right now, but you can search it on Google. So I will download Kali Linux VirtualBox 64-bit. Now let's download this, and until this gets downloaded in my computer, let's talk that why we use Linux. Because Linux is kind of free operating system. You do not have to pay for Linux. Linux has multiple features which can help you while hacking. And also Linux is an open source operating system, so that you can develop Linux in whatever way you want. It's not like Windows that if folder icon is here, it should be here. If start button is here, it should be here. There is no such rules. Linux is open source. You can edit the code. You can develop the operating system as you want, as per your preference. So we use Linux. So I hope my files would be downloaded until now. So let's look how to install it. So here I have three files. Number one is Kali Linux. In order to make this folder look like this, you need to unzip your downloads. If you will download it from the website, it will be in the zip format. You have to unzip it. Number two is extension, and number three is VirtualBox. So first of all, install virtualbox.exe file. It's the simplest installation ever. Next, 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 and finish. That's it. So I will do here next, next, next. Check mark this according to you. Next, yes, install. So just keep accepting whatever it pop you up. Keep clicking yes, and then we have VirtualBox on your device. So as soon as it will be installed, it will welcome you with the welcome screen. After VirtualBox gets installed in your computer, you also need to install VirtualBox extension pack. So let me run. Okay, we will not run this first. Okay, you need to restart your computers. All right, we will restart our computers soon. We will manually restart. Now you also have to install VMware VirtualBox extension pack. So we will just do simple agree, 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 and we have a VirtualBox extension pack. So yeah, successfully installed. Now you have VirtualBox, you have extension pack. Now you need to install Linux on this VirtualBox. How will you do so? Okay, go and click on import. Go and click on the folder icon over here. Just select wherever you have installed Kali Linux image. Just go in that folder and select .ova file. Click open. Click next. Just remember that you have to change the storage as per your need. I will install it in my hard disk, and then I will click import. I will click agree, and I hope everything runs fine. So yeah, it's importing. It will just take max to max half an hour or 15 minutes as per your computer speed. So I will meet you as it will be completed over here. So as soon as the progress completes, you will be prompted with your operating system configuration. Over here you can see there is a base memory which is 2 GB. Is that your laptop, your virtual laptop will use 2 GB of RAM. There is processors which are appointed as 2. There is hard disk. There is accelerations. I mean, it will use your graphic card. And similarly, there are different configurations. Now, if you want to change this configuration, you can go into the settings. Over here, you have different kinds of options. You can do so. So let me give it 4 GB of RAM. Okay, so let me type over here 4000 MB, which is equal to 4 GB of RAM. You can give processor as per your computer configuration. If your computer runs at 8 core processor, if your computers run as 4 core processors, you have to appoint it accordingly. So my computers had 8 CPUs, I mean 8 processors, so I will appoint 3 processors to my virtual laptop. In acceleration, it's per your need. If you want, you can check mark this. If you don't want, then you can use it anyhow. Display, you have to make sure that your virtual video memory should be on its maximum. Remote display recording, it's none of our business. Storage, it's completely fine. Audio, it's completely fine. In network, now in your network section, if you find this net, it's well and good. If you do not find net, you can also click on bridge adapter. I am using net because I have net in my option list. If you do not have net, then you can use bridge adapter. So everything is perfect. Now just look over here. You have username and password for your Linux operating system, which is Kali. Username and password is Kali. So once we will start this laptop, so you can start this with the help of start button over here. I will start this virtual operating system in my existing operating system. You can look out with your naked eyes that we are using virtual laptop on our existing laptop. It's the most funniest, most interesting, most fantastic thing which can ever happen to you. So if you want to maximize this screen, you can. But again, you have to click one more thing, which is scale mode. In the view, you will get scale mode. So just click scale mode, just click switch, and yeah, you are good to go now. So just give it a second to boot it up. It will take 2-3 minutes because it's our first boot, but from the next time it will be fast and reliable. So let's give it time. I would also like to address you that sometimes if you get any kind of error while installing something, as a hacker or as a future hacker, it should be in your habit that you always use Google. Just go and type the error, whatever you face. Just go and type on Google. You will be prompted with solutions. So make it in your habits that you have to use Google. Do not become spoon feeder that every 1.5 if you get any problem, you go and ask someone. Just try to solve this problem on your own. So yeah, we are prompted with the login screen. It is such a fast process that you can create a virtual laptop on your existing laptop. Okay, so let's give the username which I told you when we started this on VirtualBox. So we will type Kali, and on your first boot up, your display resolutions will be some conflicts, but I will tell you that how you have to do these things. Okay, so now you can see that my icons are big, my half screen is outside, my half screen is inside, but we can manage this by going into the settings. So I will just go in my settings. It will give you a kind of lag because it's our first time, but whatever. Let's go in setting manager. Now just maximize the setting manager so you can access this button over here. Now just click on display. In resolution, you have to select as per your need. So for us, I will select 1280. I will just click apply, and if it suits you, then make this configuration for always. Keep these configurations. Click close. And now you have a fresh Linux operating system. Now I know someone of you every now and then keep using Windows 10. So it will be difficult for you to understand Linux. I will tell you everything about Linux at this moment. So here you can see it's a start menu. Here we have different type of applications, different type of tools which you will use for your hacking purpose, but I will tell about these tools in more brief in later sessions. Here you have a workspace icon, so you can control the workspace. Here you have folder icon. Here you have terminal, on which we are going to spend a lot of the time because hackers use terminal. You have already seen this in movies, Hollywood movies especially. There is a kind of script going over here. So yeah, they use terminal, and hackers will spend most of the time on terminal. Now here you can see by clicking this, you get these options to shut down or to restart or whatever you want. Here is your battery. Here is your internet. You can see over here wired connection 1. It means that my computer is connected to internet. Now here you can see there is a home directory in which there are multiple options like you get in Windows: documents, desktop, downloads, music, pictures, public, templates, videos, etc, etc. This is your main file system, as we have program files in Windows. Like, this is the main file of Linux operating system. If you delete any one of the folder, you would be in a kind of situation that you again need to install Kali Linux fresh. So be careful. Now, in order to use Kali Linux properly, first of all, you have to create a root account. So in order to create root account, you have to just type sudo. I will teach you what I am typing right now. Okay, sudo password. Yeah, it's not a spelling mistake. It should be there. Sudo password root. Click enter. You have to type your existing password. I will type my existing password, and now you have to create a password which you want. Why? Because we are creating a root account. Okay, so everything is successful. Now just close everything. Go in this menu. Just click switch users. Now again you will be prompted with Linux lock screen. Now from further now, whenever you access Linux, you just have to access with the root account and the password you set it up right now, the new password. Click login, and yeah, this is your root account. Now again you have to set this display up because we set it up in our previous account. Now we have a fresh account. So again, let's go to the settings manager. Now go in the display section, maximize it so that you can access the options in the bottom. Now just go in resolutions. Remember what we have chosen previously, 1280 into 800. Click apply. Click keep this configurations, keep close, and yeah, here you have a fresh root account. Fantastic. Now we have our root account over here. We have converted our normal account to root account. We have each and every administrative rights. We have every privileges to actually run our hacking tools. So we can start learning hacking, right? No, you are wrong, because 90% of people in their day-to-day lives use Windows 10 or Mac OS. There are 10% of people who might use Linux in their day-to-day lives, but yeah, we have to focus on the 90% out there. So you need to be familiar with how Linux works, because it's not Windows 10 that you will every time open any application, you will start performing your actions, you will close the application, you shut down the computer and you are ready to go. You are fantastic. Okay, great. But it's not the case here. You have to be familiar with terminal. You have to be familiar with how terminal works, some commands, some scripts, etc things. So let's start learning some basics about Kali operating system. Fantastic. As I told you that in our Windows 10 we have a start button and we just click on it and we just get our menu, our applications. Similarly in Linux we have a start button over here on the top left corner. You can see here we have different kind of applications. Information gathering, these are the tools which you can use. Vulnerability analysis, web applications, similarly password attacks, wireless attacks, reverse engineering, exploitation tools, post exploitation. These are the multiple tools which you can use to perform your hacking attacks. But we will not learn about them right now, because we are here going to learn about Kali operating system. So just keep in your mind that you can access any kind of application from here. You also have a search bar here over here. You can just you can just type settings and you can get whatever you want. In settings, you have different type of settings which you can customize as per your choice. If you want to set any kind of default applications, then you have multiple settings like default applications. You just go into default applications. For right now, we have Mozilla Firefox and Sensible browser. Whatever you want, you can use. Utilities, this is our file manager. You can also change this file manager when you can install something. This is terminals. I will talk about terminals in a bit moment. These are the other things which you can change the default applications for services. Fantastic. So this was about settings. I don't want to go deep into the common things because you are familiar, you know how to operate a computer system, so you know what is settings and where are settings and what to do with your customizations. But now let's focus on one thing which is the most precious thing for us as a hacker. This is called as a terminal. You can see over here I have clicked on this button, terminal emulator. This is terminal. Now what is terminal? I am damn sure that you have seen Hollywood movies or a kind of hacking movie. In this kind of movies, you have already observed that there are scripts running over like this. Yeah, That's the most fascinating thing you can ever look, and you can get inspiration to become a hacker. I know everyone was starting out as somewhat inspiration from this kind of movies. There is a guy wearing a hoodie sitting over his desk in front of his laptop PC, is just typing around something, and it behaves like a hacker. And you get inspirations, and you also think that you also want to become a hacker. Yeah, so you can do similar kind of things. But to do so, you need to learn about terminal itself. So what we will learn about terminals? There is lot more thing to learn about terminal. Let's start with basics. First of all, if you need to if you want to watch your time, you just have to click time, or you just have to type time. If you want to check your date, you can just type date. If you want to check your calendar, you just have to type CAL calendar. If you want to see the calendar of your grandmothers, then you can type 1800 year, calendar of 1800 years. Fantastic, great. Now if you want to clear everything in your terminal, you can use command called as clear. Whenever you just type clear and just press enter, everything will be vanished out. That's great, that's cool. You do not have to close terminal every time, then you have to open again terminal to get a fresh look. You can just type clear and everything is gone. Great. Now let's suppose as a hacker you want to go in some directories, or you want to access some folders. Now over here you can see some folders. It might be possible that you do not see these hidden files. I have turned on these hidden files to teach you something, that whenever there is dot in front of any folder name, it means that it is a hidden file. Yeah, that's it. Now over here you can see there are multiple folders like we have in our Windows 10 in this PC section. Great. Now if you are doing something and if you want to save any kind of text document or file, or if you want to create a new folder, you just do this with this kind of options. Like we just want a demo folder, create, and we created a demo folder on desktop. But I guess it is not the good practice to every time open this graphical interface, every time go inside this graphical interface, access this menu and do something whatever you want. We as a hacker should not do this, because whenever you will start job somewhere, whenever you are going to work as a hacker in near future, sometimes it's possible that you are not working on Kali Linux, you are just working on terminal. Yeah, that's possible. There are only terminals in operating system, there is no other thing. If you want to make your operating system in a small size, then your company will only give you terminal access. They will not give you some other kind of graphical interface access, because if you want to use graphical interface, you need graphic card, you need a good display. But sometimes it's not possible to have graphical interface over here. So how will you do each and everything with the help of terminal? Yeah, we can do this. Let me show you. So first of all, let's imagine that you want to create a folder over here on desktop. So how will you do so? First of all, you have to check that where you are in current terminal directory. So to check this out, you can just see over here, there is a semicolon or whatever you say. Fantastic. This is a curved line. Great. Yeah, it's okay. So you just have to observe over here. If it is a this curved line, then it means that you are in the default directory of terminal. Now, if you want to look out folders, you can just type ls. ls is the short form of list. Just press enter and you can see over here. These are the folders: desktop, documents, downloads, music, pictures, public, templates, videos. Similarly over here. Great. So you are in this directory. Now let's suppose you want to go in the desktop directory. I mean, you have to access this desktop. You can just type cd. cd is the short form of change directory. Now you want to go in desktop. So just click, just type desktop, press enter. You are in the desktop directory. As I told you that you just have to observe over here. You can see over here desktop. It means that we are in the desktop directory. Great. Now let's say you want to create a document over here on desktop directory. How will you do so? So to create a document, what you do in our Windows operating system, we just access Notepad. We just create a new document as we can do over here. Just go create a document, empty file, name it demo, press enter, open the demo, type whatever you want, Control S, it will save it and it will close it. Now next time you open it, there it is. But as I told you, it's not a good practice to learn everything in a graphical interface way. So you need to learn it with the help of terminal. So how can you create a document with the help of terminal? There are different ways which you can use on your purpose. But I will suggest that you should learn this way which I'm going to teach you right now. In Linux operating system, there is a similar kind of alternative of a notepad which is known as Vim. Vim is a text editor which you can access through terminal. Now let's say you want to create a demo.txt document on your desktop. So just type vim and demo.txt. Press enter. It will open the text editor. Now you can type anything you want. To do so, you just have to press insert on your keyboard. You can look over here. We just have entered insert mode. Now you can type whatever you want. So let's type hello and welcome. My name is XYZ. You are great. Now let's type something more so we can broadly understand different kind of options which we have. Okay, let's say we type I hope you are well. Great. Now let's say you want to save this file. How will you do so? You cannot directly close the terminal, or you cannot press Ctrl S over here. To do or to save this file, to save this document, you just have to press escape. Why escape? To come out of this insert mode, because we are in the insert mode. Now as I will press escape, you can see that we will come out of this insert mode. So I'm pressing escape over here and we are out of the insert mode. Now in order to save this, you just observe where my mouse pointer is. I will just type semicolon. I will just type W. W means it will write the file over here. So I will press enter and you can see over here we have successfully saved our demo.txt. Now in order to close this Vim, you just have to type semicolon again. You just have to type Q for quit. Press enter and you are out of this. Now let's say you want to read this document. How will you do so? You just have to verify that you are in desktop directory. Now let's type ls, so it will list everything which is on desktop. You can see we have demo.txt on desktop. Now let's say you want to read this document. How will you read this? First of all, you have to type cat. Cat is the short form of you have to read. I don't know the full form of cat, but yeah, cat is something you can use to read it. Fantastic, great. Now let's say demo.txt, you want to read this, cat demo.txt, and over here you can see hello and welcome, my name is XYZ, you are great, I hope you are well. So we just type this around and you can see over here. Now let's say you want to delete something. How will you do so? So let's create a new folder over here. Let's do this with the help of our terminal. Okay, so here you can see, now I want to come out of this desktop directory. I now again want to go to my default directory. How can you go back? In our graphical interface, we have button over here. You can just click this and you are out of the directory. But in terminal, you just have to type cd. It means change directory, and just you have to type double dots. Press enter. You are on the back of your current directory. So we are again back out of the desktop directory. Now let's create a folder over here. In order to create a folder, you can type mkdir make directory. You just have to type the folder name demo. You can see over here we just created demo folder. Now let's say we again go to demo folder cd-de. Now if you do not want to type the whole name of the folder, you can just type the starting 2 words or 3 words and just press tab. It will ask you which one. You just again press tab and you can scroll over here. I am just pressing tab. Now I want demo. Enter. Enter. You are in the demo directory. Let's create a new directory over here, which is XYZ. So you created another directory in demo folder. Now let's say you want to delete this folder. How will you do so? To delete some kind of folder, you have an option which is RM. RM is a short form of remove. Now in order to know the help of any kind of tool or any kind of option, let's say you do not know how to use RM. What will you do to understand how to use RM? Just you have to type double lines, which is double colons. Just type help, press enter. You can see how to use remove command. You also have a clear understanding of usage of remove command. Now these are the options. You can use any options over here. So in any kind of situation, if you do not know how to use any kind of tool, then you can directly just type help after that command. You will just be prompted with the help or the manual to use this kind of tools. So now we want to delete our folder. So you just have to verify which option we can use. You just have to read over here. Now I got my option. I want to remove folder R. It will remove the directory and their contents recursively. So we will just remove our folder. How will we do so? Just type RM. Just we have to type the options which we selected over here. The option is R, and just type the name of the document or let's say your directory. Now we cannot delete demo directory because we are in demo directory. So we need to first go out of this demo directory. I will do so with this help of cd dot dot. Now I can type remove demo. And you can see demo is gone. Great. You understood everything right now. Now, as I told you that you have two different options to create a document file. So let's say we again create a new document file. Look over here, I am just pressing tab. We are in the desktop. Now let's say you want to create a file without the use of Vim. You can do so with the help of command echo. Just type whatever you want, hello and welcome. Now in order to save this, you just have to press this arrow button on your keyboard and just type the name or the folder name, whatever you want to give it. Let's say I want to give document.txt. Press enter, and over here you can see we have created successfully document.txt. Let's verify document. I'm just pressing tab and it completed automatically. Hello and welcome. Great. Now let's say you want to count the words in this document file. How will you do so? You just have to open this. You just have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'm not joking. Yeah, obviously I'm joking. You do not have to do these things. You can use terminal over here. So let's say we are in our desktop and these are two documents. Now let's say I want to read demo.txt. Now I want to count how many words, how many lines are there. So we will use demo.txt. Now first let's count lines. So in order to count line, you can use a tool WC. WC is used to count anything in document. Now I want to read or count lines. I will just type colon L and press enter. Yeah, so there are 4 lines. Great, there are 4 lines. Now let's say you do not know how to use WC. Then you can do so. WC help, and you will be prompted with a help section. Now let's say you want to read words, so you can use W. Great, now let's use W, okay? So cat demo.txt, in place of L, just type W, press enter. Yeah, so you are here with a prompt of your total words in the document, which are 15. You can verify. I am waiting for you to verify these words. Yeah, great. I think you have done this. Fantastic. So these were the basic things you should know about terminal for basic kind of purposes. Now let's move towards some high usage tools. So in near future, when you will start using hacking tools, many times you will need your IP address, your Linux IP address. So how can you find your Linux IP address? To do so, you just have to type ifconfig, press enter. Ifconfig will give you a list of different type of interface which are connected to your system. What is LU? LU is a kind of local host. If you are a web developer, if you know how to develop webs, if you know how to run PHP on your system, you are completely familiar with localhost. Localhost is kind of a loophole which continuously run over your computer. It is a kind of private internet which your computers have. Each and every device in this world have their private internet which do not have access to this network. You cannot access www.google.com without the data, but you can just have your access to the internet, which we can say as a private internet, as I told you. So it has an IP address 127.0.01. Great. But over here you can see H0. What is H0? So let me just tell you that if you click on this computer type icon, you can see a wired connection 1. So this is my internet connection. So you can see over here inet. So this is my IP address 10.0.2.15. Great, fantastic. We learned that how we can see our IP address. Now we also, let me close everything over here. Let me close this so you can be perfectly familiar. Now let's say you want to access browser. Just type Firefox and you are in your browser. Now let's say you want google.com. Just type google.com. Now you want Internship Studio website, just type Internship Studio. You will be prompted with internshipstudio.com website. Now let's say, as I told you, that you do not have to completely go and access google.com, or you cannot access this graphical interface. Then how can you access your browser with the help of terminal? So I have closed my browser. Now let's access this with the help of a terminal. So in order to access Firefox, you just have to type Firefox and type whatever the website name is. For us, google.com. Press enter, sit back, relax. It will automatically give you google.com. That's great, right? We do not have this kind of features in our Windows 10 operating system. Now, there are few more things which I want to tell you. So in future, let's say you want to verify that is some websites working, or if you want to check that is any server up, because you will always work with servers because you are hacker works with server, and everything connected on this internet is connected with server. So in order to verify that is your server working, what can you do? You can just type ping will check that is google.com working. So I will type google.com, just press enter. Over here you can see that google.com is working because we are reflected back with google.com IP address. So this is the IP address of google.com. So in order to verify google.com is working, you can use ping. It will do what? It will just send 64 bytes of data to Google. Google will also send as a response. I mean, you say hi to Google, Google will also say hi to you. So it's a two-way handshake. You can see over here, our computer and Google are continuously talking. You are like, hi Google, and Google is like, hi, how are you? You are again, hi Google. Google is like, hi, how are you? Here you can see there is a time section which shows you that how much time Google is taking to give answer to your hi request. I hope you got my point over here. That's great. So you learned about each and everything which you need to know in order to close this. I mean, let's say you want to cancel out anything which is in the process. How will you do so? You just have to press Ctrl plus C. It will cancel out anything which is working over here. Great. Now in Windows we have Microsoft Store. In Android we have Play Store. In iOS we have App Store. So what is a store for Linux? In Linux, we have a store which is named as APT. APT is a kind of package storing system. In APT, there are different kind of packages, tools which are stored, which you can use for your Linux operating system. Now in Windows, if we want to update our Windows operating system, we just go into the settings, we just click updates, and our Windows operating system will be get updated. Similarly in Android and iOS. But over here, if you want to update, you can type apt get. It means that you are telling APT that APT get this. What APT have to get? You just have to tell him APT get update. So APT will start working on updates. But for now, let me cancel this out. I told you how to cancel this. In order to cancel this, you just have to type control, or you just have to press Ctrl plus C, and you are out of the process. Now let's say you want to install kind of tool, then you will tell apt get. Now what? Apt get install. You are instructing APT that APT go and get. Now get will talk to APT that what should I get. Then you will also instruct get that get install. Now install will have a communication with apt get that what I have to install. You just type whatever the tool you want. Let me type Python 3 over here. So we are ready with our Python 3 because Python 3 is already in our newest version and is already installed in my computer because it comes with by default Kali Linux operating system image. So yeah, it will show you that Python 3 is already the newest version. So you do not need to install anything right now. Great. So you can use apt to update something, to install something, which we will use in our next session. I mean, we will always use apt get to install some of our tools which we are going to use. Great. So these were the things I guess you need to know for Linux operating system. Now you are ready to go. Now let me tell you one thing which will help you in your journey. You do not have to worry that you will forget this command, you will forget this, you will forget this. No, that's not the kind of stuff which hackers do. If you forget something, you have google.com. Just go and Google whatever the help you want. You will be prompted with a number of kind of websites which will help you to solve the problem. So do not worry if you forget anything, if you forget how to use this, if you face any kind of error. I reminded you that you have to always use Google for your error solving, for your problem solving, or if you forget anything. So that's it.